G'day YouTube, Michael from BeYourBestSelf.Fitness here. Today's video, I want to go over 2 of my best tips for helping improve your squat technique. Now these tips are based on 2 of the most common errors that I see when I'm working with clients in the gym when it comes to not only their bodyweight squat, but also the barbell squat as well. So this first tip will apply to both the bodyweight and the barbell, and the second tip is going to be barbell focused. So this first tip comes in relation to the weak or valgus knee position that I see in a lot of people squatting. So that's where the knees are coming in here. People are squatting like so, or even just at the bottom, the knees are coming in and driving out of the hole. So sometimes it's not enough just to tell somebody to push the knees out. One of my videos I've got on my website is a detailed instructional video about how we're rooting to the ground, how we're twisting the ground apart, engaging our glutes, all of those things. But sometimes that's not enough just to hear it. So what we can do is provide some external force, pushing our knees in, so pushing them into that weak position, so it gives us something to push out against. Now I'm going to use one of these mini bands here, which I'm going to wrap around my knees. If you don't have one of those, you can also take an exercise band and double that over and use that like so. So I'm just going to pop this on. So this gives us something that we can feel. Rather than just trying to think about pushing our knees out, we have no choice but to push our knees out with this one. So these guys aren't the best because they do tend to fold over like so, but here we go. So I'm having to push out against that already. It's really queuing up my glutes here, my glute min and glute med, and that's going to help me to keep those knees in the right position throughout the entire movement of the squat. If I'm not engaging my glutes and pulling my knees out, then it's already pulling me in. So twisting the ground apart to engage those glutes, and then squatting, pushing out against the band the whole way. So this is a really great tool to help cue up those muscles that might not be active. Okay, so if we're not used to using certain muscles, they can switch off and they can become inactive. So this helps us to activate those muscles, get them switched on, so when it comes to squatting with a reasonable amount of weight, we're not defaulting back to that poor position. So use a tool like this throughout all of your warm-up sets to really cue up those muscles. You'll feel the sides of your glutes really fire up because it's engaging those muscles, and if they haven't been engaged before, then you might need to do this consistently to really switch them on, to really develop some strength in those muscles so that you can keep those knees in a good position no matter how much weight you're lifting. The second tip is going to be with the barbell. So I'm going to get that on my back and demonstrate that movement. So let's go to that now. Okay guys, so when it comes to squatting with the barbell, there's a couple of things that we need to keep in mind. Now, one of the most common errors that I see with people is the hip shooting up, okay, and it turns into a bit of a good morning here. So it's sort of a 2-part movement, okay, hips coming up. So we need to be pushing up against the bar. So depending on where the bar is sitting, I need to be pushing up in this direction with my upper back while I'm driving into the ground with my legs. Now, one of the ways one of the cues that's really helped me to do that, to keep my chest up, to keep my torso in a good position, is actually to do with my elbow positioning. So let me just demonstrate that. So a lot of times I will see people come down here, the elbows flare back, okay, and that's where the torso tends to tip forward and the hips shoot up. So what I want you guys to be thinking about is actually driving the elbows forward. Now that's really going to help me to drive my back into the bar, keep my chest up, keep my torso high. Again, driving my elbows forward. So as opposed to here, which is only going to lend me to leaning forward, really think about out of the hole, pushing those elbows underneath. It's going to help you to drive back and into the bar, standing up in one fluid motion rather than hips and then back. So all in one motion, bang, driving up and under. So that's my 2 tips, guys. Using that resistance band to cue the knees out, switch on those glutes, help to keep those knees in a good strong position throughout the entirety of the squat, and elbows under as you're coming up out of the hole to keep your chest up, keep your torso high, and keep your squat very efficient. That's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching again. BeYourBestSelf.Fitness is the website. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.